Good afternoon, all of you. Today we'll be started a new topic, airborne disease. So, what is meant by airborne disease or airborne transmission? It is an infection spread through the exposure to those virus containing respiratory droplets, comprises of smaller droplets and particles that can remain suspended in air over a long distances, usually greater than 6 feet. एयरबॉर्न डिसीज मीन्स ऐसे इन्फेक्शन होता है कि वो एक्सपोज टू द एयर में इन्फेक्टेड होता है. जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर ट्यूबरक्लोसिस पेशेंट है, वो अगर कफ या स्नीजिंग करे इन एयर में, तो उसके जो ड्रॉपलेट्स है वो कॉन्टेमिनेटेड होते हैं अदर पर्सन के. तो ये हो गया एयरबॉर्न डिसीज. एयरबॉर्न डिसीज विच इज़ क्लासिफाइड इनटू 2 टाइप्स. फर्स्ट इज एयरबॉर्न इन्फेक्शन एंड सेकंड इज airborne harmful agents. So the first is airborne infection, which is are also subdivided into 3 parts. First is droplet infection, second is droplet nuclei, and third is infected dust. So we discuss the first, droplet infection. For example, tuberculosis, diphtheria, smallpox, chickenpox, etc., which are transmitted by the airborne diseases. Droplet infection, it is an infection spread through exposure to virus containing respiratory droplets, that is large and smaller droplets and particles exhaled by an infectious person, which is a transmission is most likely to occur when someone is close to the infectious person, generally within about 6 feet. अगर एखादा पर्सन इन्फेक्शियस है, ट्यूबरकुलोसिस हुआ है या फिर उसे डायप्थेरिया हुआ है और उसके कांटेक्ट में अगर हम जाए 6 फीट की दूरी पर, हम उसके कांटेक्ट में उसने स्नीजिंग किया या फिर कफ किया और वो ड्रॉपलेट्स हमारे कांटेक्ट में आ जाएंगे, तब हमें ये इन्फेक्शन हो सकता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल tuberculosis, diphtheria, smallpox, chickenpox, measles, whooping cough, pneumonia, etc. Then next part is droplet nuclei. The same disease as a droplet infection occur, however it involves the evaporation of droplet leaving behind minute residual of nuclei, which is smaller than 5 micrometer in a diameter, which is the same as a droplet infection, but which is smaller than a 5 micrometer in a diameter. Then next is a infected dust. The common diseases transmitted by this route are tuberculosis, pneumonia, streptococcal and streptococcal infections, etc. Then we move to the airborne harmful agents. These agents are dust, industrial waste and industrial pollutants. Cities with heavy industries and vehicular transport can lead to pneumoconiosis, means the intestinal lung disease, lead poison, etc. एयरबॉर्न हार्मफुल एजेंट्स कौन से हैं? डस्ट, इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट, इंडस्ट्रियल पोल्यूटेंट्स, ये क्या है? एयरबॉर्न हार्मफुल एजेंट्स विच इज़ अफेक्टेड बाय द ह्यूमन ऑर्गेनिज्म. देन नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज लाइट. Light or artificial light is available at all places. Natural sunlight should be used whenever possible, both or economy and for its beneficial effect on health. It is obtained by providing a window which should have an area at least 1/10 of floor space. The rays of sun include visible rays, heat rays and invisible ultraviolet rays. In most of places, electric lighting is provided and hence candle light, paraffin lamps or gas lighting is not commented upon. Electric lighting does not involve combustion and therefore no oxygen is taken and no waste substances are produced. It contains violet and ultraviolet light and produces very little heat. Indirect light reflected from the ceiling of considerable to be best. Fluorescent light gives a minimum shadow. Then we move to the noise. A sound becomes a noise when it causes a disturbances to the hearer. Noise is measured in a unit of decibel. The decibel is the ratio and it expressed in the ratio of sound in a quotient to smallest indiscernible sound. The decibel scale is logarithm. The approximate noise level value of the some operational activities are given below. So what is mean by sound या फिर नॉइज़? ऐसा साउंड जो हमारे हियरिंग के लिए हार्मफुल हो, ऐसे यानी कि पर्टिकुलर डेसिबल के अबाव वो नॉइज़ उड़ जाए तो उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? नॉइज़. तो विस्पर अप टू 30 डेसिबल, अगर विस्पर 30 डेसिबल के ऊपर होगा तो हमें वो हार्मफुल पहुंचेगा. देन ऑर्डिनरी कन्वर्शन अगर अप टू 30 to 50 डेसिबल में रहा तो वो ठीक है, अगर उसके ऊपर जाए तो वो हमारे बॉडी को हार्मफुल है. देन कार इंजिन अप टू 90 डेसिबल्स. देन शाउटिंग अप टू 100 डेसिबल्स. मशीनरी अप टू 100 decibels. Aeroplane engine up to 100 decibels. Jet engine up to 100 decibels. Then sound begins to be uncomfortably loud at the intensity of 100 decibel and painful at a 130 to 140 decibels. Prolonged exposure to any noise of 80 decibels or more is likely to be harmful and may produce a fatigue, headache, tannins, vertigo and deafness. अगर नॉइज़ ज़्यादा हुआ यानी कि 80 डेसिबल या फिर 130 to 140 डेसिबल के ऊपर चला गया तो वो हमारी बॉडी को हार्मफुल है और विच प्रोड्यूस द हेडेक, फटीग, टिनीनेस, वर्टिगो एंड डिफनेस. देन loud noise may cause a different injury to auditory organs resulting in a deafness. Permanent deafness may be caused by exposure to the sudden noise of an explosive nature. Temporary deafness may occur after exposure to the light, intense sound and jet engine. अगर जेट इंजन का सडनली हमें नॉइज़ सुनाई दे तो वो हम टेम्पररी डिफनेस यानी हियरिंग लॉस हो सकता है या फिर परमानेंट भी लॉस हो सकता है. देन प्रिवेंशन, हम इसे कैसे प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं ये हम देखेंगे. मेनी ऑफ सोर्सेस ऑफ नॉइज कैन बी कंट्रोल्ड बाय पब्लिक. ब्लोइंग ऑफ ऑटोमोबाइल हॉर्न्स, rattling trucks, noisy brakes, loudspeaker, loud radios are some such example. Prevention of noise will required. देन फर्स्ट एजुकेशन ऑफ पब्लिक. पब्लिक को एजुकेशन देना चाहिए कि या फिर जो प्रोहिबिटेड एरिया है, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल हॉस्पिटल हो गए, सिविल स्कूल हो गए, ऐसे जगह पर हॉर्न नहीं बजाना चाहिए. ये हम एजुकेशन दे सकते हैं पब्लिक को, इसकी तरह से हम प्रिवेंशन भी कर सकते हैं नॉइज़ को. देन सेकंड है कोऑपरेशन ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल एंटरप्रेन्योर, ट्रांसपोर्ट अथॉरिटीज़ एंड enforcement of adequate legislative measures. The community may have a demarcation of silent zone in a different area of city. Prohibition of blowing of horn near hospitals, schools and public offices. Use of horn that are free from shrill, etc. Use of loudspeaker and loud radios can be restricted. देन नेक्स्ट है हमारा सॉलिड वेस्ट डिस्पोजल एंड कंट्रोल. सो द इनएडुकेट एंड इनसैनिटरी डिस्पोजल ऑफ इन्फेक्टेड ह्यूमन फीसेस लीड्स टू कंटेमिनेशन ऑफ द ग्राउंड एंड द सोर्स ऑफ वाटर. It provides the sites and the opportunity of certain species of flies and mosquitoes to lay their eggs, to breed or to feed on the exposure material and to carry a infection. Solid waste disposal means ऐसा disposal होता है जो human feces leads to contamination of ground and the water. Then which is also attract domestic animals, rodents which spread the feces and also the potential for disease. In addition, it creates a intolerable nauseous of odor and sight There are a number of communicable and non-communicable diseases related to excreta and waste water. Major communicable diseases are intestinal infection and helminth infection, cholera, typhoid, parathyroid, then dysentery and diarrhea, hookworm and filariasis. Some of the pathogenic organisms frequently found in a feces, urine, etc. are as follows. First is bacteria, viruses, protozoa and helminths. The first is bacteria. First bacteria is Escherichia coli which produce a diarrhea. अगर हमारी बॉडी में Escherichia coli का बैक्टीरिया अगर चला गया तो हमें डायरिया हो सकता है. देन नेक्स्ट इज टाइफॉइड, साल्मोनेला टाइफॉइड. एक साल्मोनेला टाइफॉइड बैक्टीरिया अगर हमारी बॉडी में चला जाए तो वो क्रिएट अ टाइफॉइड. देन वायरसेस. फर्स्ट वायरस इज पोलियो वायरस which leads to a polio. Then next is rotavirus which leads to enteritis. Then next is protozoa which leads to the Entamoeba histolytica which leads to immobilizasis. Then next is helminths means Ascaris lubricoides which forms a roundworm. Then next topic is transmission. Human beings themselves are the main reservoir of the most diseases that affect them. Transmission of excreta related diseases from one host to the another follow one by the routes mentioned below. So हम देखेंगे कि ट्रांसमिशन कैसे होता है. तो फर्स्ट इज अ पैथोजन इन एक्सक्रीटा. एक्सक्रीटा मीन्स द वेस्ट मैटर discharged from the body, for example feces and urine. Then pathogen in excreta which is transferred in hand files. Then surface water and waste water. Then solid waste and soil. Then hand files is agriculture. Then aquaculture. Then surface water and waste water which contaminated groundwater and surface water. Then the agriculture and aquaculture which contaminated food which leads to pathogen enter in human. Also the groundwater and surface water which contaminated water supply and swimming which also leads the pathogen enter in human. Then soil is also contaminated the pathogen enter in human. Then control. If the transmission of disease is blocked at one or more points, excreta related diseases can be controlled by possible eradicated. Good sanitation practice can help towards the goal. अगर हमें ये कंट्रोल करना है, ये ट्रांसमिशन कंट्रोल करना है तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं. Good sanitation practice can help towards the goal. For example, water seal slab. Then in a latrine reduce the breeding sites for mosquitoes. Vector of filariasis. Treatment of excreta prior to its disposal can kill the eggs and cysts of the many human parasites like Ascaris, Entamoeba and Schistosoma sap, preventing the contamination of both ground and water. Then the arthropod-borne disease and their control. Since the diseases like a plague, malaria, filariasis, etc. have been discussed separately, only a brief table regarding their control is presented below. So the table is first disease is malaria which is spread by the Anopheles mosquito. Then which is controlled by the environment and chemical. So first is environment. Maintain a clean banks by removing weeds, adequate drainage of rain and waste water. अगर हमें मलेरिया फैलने से रोकना है तो हमें adequate drainage of rain and waste water का पूरी तरह से ख्याल रखना चाहिए. Then chemical DDT spray 100 to 200 mg per square feet, effect at least for 6 months. DTD स्प्रे मीन्स डाइक्लोरो डाइफिनाइल ट्राइक्लोरोइथेन स्प्रे करना चाहिए 100 to 200 mg पर स्क्वायर फीट. देन नेक्स्ट डिसीज इज फिलारिया which is spread by Cureus mosquito, then which is controlled by the environment, provision of adequate drain or rain and water, wastewater, removal of artificial water with organic pollution, then chemical DTD spray 3 to 5% with a pyrethrum effect in a temporary and limited. Then next diarrhea which is controlled by environment, provision and dysentery, utilization of sanitary latrines in every house, control of open defecation, safe disposal of animal waste. Then last is calazar which is spread by sand flies. Then environment which is controlled by the environment, proper construction and maintenance of cattle sheds, poultry and animal houses, proper disposal of waste and chemical DTD spray 100 to 200 mg per square feet in human dwelling, cattle sheds and poultry farms. Thank you.